Hi, thank you for clicking my YouTube video. My name is Sarah. If you have clicked this video, then obviously you are interested in magnetic implants. First off, I wanted to thank you for clicking my video instead of some of the other videos. I understand a lot of people out there have better cameras, better quality videos, whole 9 yards, so the fact that you even clicked mine makes me happy. I noticed a very large niche in the YouTube community. There aren't any female biohackers. I can barely be considered a biohacker because I only have one biohack, technically, but I've done it 3 times. So, I have a magnet implanted in these 2 fingers. I had a magnet implanted in this finger as well. So the reason why I made this video is I have come to find out through trial and error on my own body that all the other implant videos on YouTube officially suck. And everybody who follows them is going to be in a world of pain. So all the other YouTube videos explain that the way you need to put it into your finger is to cut a pocket and then place the magnet in the pocket and then shut the pocket by whatever means you have. So that's a really, really dumb idea. It worked considerably well, considering that nobody had done this yet, and you're doing it at home, you're not a medical professional, you don't necessarily know what you're doing, not necessarily trained, things of that matter, but we've evolved past this as of now. So, the problem that I had with the insertion through the surgical method was the hole, for one, would not heal, no matter how long I waited. I waited 3 weeks with it sewn shut, and it still, as soon as I removed the stitches, it opened right back up. So that was very depressing. I spent nearly a month fighting, trying to keep this magnet in my finger. So for some reason, my body just refused to shut. Regardless of that fact, that may not be something that everybody who uses the scalpel method will come across. So that may be just me. I don't really care either way. It's a problem that should be stated, because if I've had it, you might have it. Problem number 2. These magnets are very small. These magnets need to have nerve endings touching them, and the nerve endings need to be alive. If you slit your finger open to place the magnet in it, the number of nerve endings that you're damaging is way, way higher than it could be. When we give somebody, say, a breast implant, we don't cut a hole the size of the breast implant and then put in the implant. We cut a small hole, put the implant through that hole, and that's the way it's supposed to be done. So that's the way that I did it, more or less. I also downgraded to a much smaller size magnet. The reason why the magnet in my ring finger did not survive was I had a second neodymium magnet, which was identical to the one that was in my finger, without the special coating, laminated onto a clear plastic credit card. So I could, whenever I was talking to somebody, I could show them this is what the magnet looks like without ever losing my magnet. And unbeknownst to me, neodymium is extremely strong, and it attracted the card out of one hand and into the other, where the magnet attached to the other magnet, which, like I said earlier, the hole still had not fully shut. So when I tried to pull to get the card off, it yanked the magnet through the stitches and out of my finger, which was excruciating. There was no way to get around it. I really did. I tried turning the card so it would be behind my finger so I could pull, and when I pulled, it would pull the magnet deeper into the finger rather than out of the finger. but I found even moving the card left, right, back, up, or down caused the magnet to still come right out either way. So I just gritted my teeth, said screw it, ripped it right out. Yeah, don't do that. So I came up with a new method. My method is very, 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 very similar to the RFID implant method. The way that I did it, like I said, first off, I got much smaller magnets. Here's, if I can get this big magnet off, my explanation board. So, all the way over to our left over here. Ooh, forgot there's a magnet in that finger. Still getting used to my magnets. I haven't even had them a full 24 hours yet. So we have a large BB over here. And you can see these are the type of BBs that you would put in a regular BB gun. And these are the average American BB. Poof. Now that silver magnet is the neodymium magnet that I had pulled out of my finger. It's 3 millimeters by 1 millimeter. That golden dot right next to it is what is now implanted in my finger, which is 1.6 millimeters times 0.75 millimeters. So you can see much thinner in comparison to the silver magnet. And this column cylindrical magnet that you see is a total of 10 of those little magnets stacked up on top of each other. Let me try and lift it straight up. Straight up. Okay. So, there we go. Boop. It's still tiny. So what I did was I decided which fingers were going to get stuck. Now, at this point, you need to decide for yourself whether or not you are, what's the word, brave? You don't have to do it with numbing of any kind. You can just go straight in for it. If you can do it, then you can do it. I can't. So I went and I bought 2% lidocaine with no epinephrine if possible, but it does have some epinephrine in it. Everybody else online is getting 1% for some reason. Why, I don't understand. 2% works better. Also, everybody online keeps going for the digit block where they inject anesthetic here and inject anesthetic here to block off the nerve endings so they can do the work up here. That didn't work for anybody online, so I don't know why they keep doing it. Every video that I've watched, they stuck it here multiple times with large amounts of lidocaine and it still wasn't numb, and they still inevitably had to go up here. I did it right here at the second knuckle, and that numbed the whole thing with just about 1.25 milliliters, 1.25 milliliters per finger. So I was able to numb it up quite well. And the way that I did it, I'm going to have to flip you off because it's the only finger that I have left that doesn't hurt right now. I took a 12 gauge piercing needle. It looks ridiculously big, but it's not. And I chose where I wanted my magnet. I wanted my magnet right here. So I put it up against my skin and figured out how deep I had to go. And I went from the tip off to the side, not dead center, but I'm just doing it dead center for camera's sake. And I went straight down in. And then after you're in, you put your sterilized magnet into the hole. And then I just took a second needle, that was a 14 gauge, to stick it in the inside. and then I just gently tapped it down till it was all the way down, and then once it's there, you can see it, and then you just push, and poof, it's in your finger. And then all you do is pinch your finger and pull, which inevitably almost always pulls the 12 gauge out, but not the 14 gauge. Since the 14 gauge is bigger than the magnets, I would push it a little bit deeper just to make sure that it was all the way down and in the hole, and then just remove the second needle. And that was it. I was done. And poof, my little magnets are in my body. That seemed to be the best method for me. I've done both methods, and yeah, much better than the other one. Trying to find my little package for my magnets. Regardless. So there's that. Stay away from the microwave. The microwave will make your fingers buzz in a really uncomfortable way. For me, at least, it's uncomfortable. Stay away from induction cooktops. Induction cooktops are off limits from now on, because when you see it on TV, they're like, look, you can put your hand on it, it doesn't even hurt you. Put the hand with a magnet on that, and it's going to freaking cook you from the inside out, and you're really not going to like that. So, keep it away from induction cooktops. Keep it away from other neodymium magnets. They are not friends. It hurts like hell. You don't want to have to pull one neodymium magnet out because it's stuck to another one. It's really fun to listen to music through my finger. I have the coil that goes around your neck, and you stick your finger in your ear and you can hear it. There's one guy who got these magnets implanted in his ear, but as I imagine, when you're not touching your ear, doesn't have any pressure, so you don't hear anything. But if you were to push on it, it'd be vibrating against your jawbone, and then you'd be able to hear it. So even he still has to touch it. So you might as well just keep it in your finger and not even implant it in your ear. I plan on putting my last set of magnets into my index finger on my right hand. I did everything to my left hand, so anything that happens to my left hand. The scalpel method is way more painful, and what I mean by that is I had anesthetic both ways. Whether I did it the injection method or the surgical method, I had it numb both times. I'm talking about pain afterward. So afterward, my magnet in my ring finger hurt till it got yanked out. Yeah, it always hurt. It never stopped hurting. It would get better, but it wouldn't stop. The infection would stop entirely. Physical reactions to the magnet stopped within like 3 days. It wasn't getting warm, there was no more pus, nothing. But the hole wouldn't shut. And pain, the pain after about a week disappeared. But if I were to even just graze, say this, or tap my finger onto a surface, it would hurt like somebody had just smashed my finger with a hammer. It was ungodly painful, and it's not fun. These magnets, which I just had implanted less than 24 hours ago, they're tender, definitely tender, but in comparison to the scalpel method, I'm probably in 20% the amount of pain I was the same time after getting it cut. So if you look at my finger, I have a large hole, like scar. It's actually healed shut, but it made a divot, so it still looks like a hole, and it still hurts to this day. And it's been roughly 2 months since the actual incision, roughly a month since the magnet was removed. So this is where the 12 gauge needle went into my finger. Mind you, 12 gauge needles are huge. So that's not unsurprising at all. You can see from the side, there's no discoloration anywhere else. All of the injury and discoloration is right at the tip. while the magnet itself is actually right here. And I can feel the magnet. The magnet is definitely more tender than the rest of the finger, but definitely not unbearable. Even the scalpel method wasn't unbearable, but come on, I shouldn't be gritting my teeth all day in pain with a finger. My pinky looks a lot worse because the first time I stuck the needle in, I didn't stick it in deep enough. So I backed the needle back out a little bit, tilted it, and went back in. So there's a small pocket of blood, and it made like a blood blister. I'm trying to shade it. There we go, you can see the blood blister. But other than that, I'm in practically no pain. Like I said last time, I was gritting my teeth for days. I'm just at the point where I don't want to touch my hands right now. I'm not in like, oh my god, I can't use my hand amount of pain. I couldn't do the dishes. I couldn't bathe because you need both hands. I couldn't cook. Anything that had anything to do with my left hand, I just couldn't do with my left hand. So that was unpleasant. And if this method works out, which means I'm going to wait at least 2 or 3 months, if I can. Unless it works out amazingly, and in like a week and a half I just can't help myself and I have to tell you guys about this. If everything works out fine and dandy, I'll go ahead and post a second video of me actually implanting one in this finger, which doesn't have one right now. I got a little virgin finger over here for you. So, those are my plans. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the video. I'm trying here. I've never done this before. I'm kind of an introvert kind of person, but I'm really tired of all of those scalpel videos, and they need to go. And I hope to never see another one of my fellow YouTubers sticking a scalpel in their finger, because that was just a no. Never doing that again. I'm surprised I was dumb enough to do it the first time. But I'll give you some updates, and if everything goes well, I'll try to post videos of it making music and using the bottlenose project and a whole bunch of other things that I could possibly do. As of right now, all I can do is pick up a needle because it's sore, and I'm not going to try and play music with a magnet that's sore. So thank you very much for watching the video. Like I said, if you have questions, go ahead and comment below. I'll do my best to answer your questions. If you have any requests, make some requests, all that good stuff. Like I said, never done this before. Thank you for watching.